All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Right.
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. I'm the brother Korah Abad, and we got the beloved Elder Taza Pai as well. And as always, the Wadi How Bashim Awashai for another opportunity to come give a sacrifice, to come bring out the news, which you have a lot of people in these times trying to, and there's heavy emphasis on that trying, not just trying to bring out the news, but trying to tie it to prophecy, and that was set up for a specific group of men to do, and that's why it's exciting in these times to just watch the Lord's story play out, because we know what's supposed to happen. We just now seeing the details, as prophecy unfolds. It's kind of like how they got before movies come out, they had a trailer. The trailer. We know the trailer. We watching now to see the full picture. But we got a couple things, not a couple things to talk on, but World War III events we'll get into. But before we hop into it, Elder Tazapod, do you have anything?
Nah, we can go and get it started.
Kind. So with that,
Oh,
we'll hop into it. And this is one of the last major prophecies that's left. We have of course there's a couple of things that still have to take place before Yahweh Shai come back. As far as Jacob's trouble go, concentration camps, Esau coming in like a flood, viruses, newly created creatures, Leviathan, so on and so forth. But major prophecies, this is one of them. The main one is the MOTB, which we know as the R5D micro C hip. And the next major prophecy is World War III. And both of those events go coincide, and that's all gonna lead to the coming of our Lord once these two things happen. So we're in some exciting times with that. Will happen to it. Matter of fact, I got a quick one.
God, and I'll read this real quick. All right.
Okay, kind.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and six. All right. So just going back briefly, the he that causeth all, he is none other than, the wicked Esau Edom, who's in power right now. Pursuant to Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So he has the power to cause all. All right. So as the brother was mentioning the MOTB, that is one of the main prophecies that is left to be fulfilled, along with Jacob's trouble, the third world war, or the third woe, as mentioned in Revelation 11 and 14. All right. Now, this is important to keep bringing it up. Or some people might say, man, y'all always going into that. Is we got to. And what you have to understand is prophecy runs the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so those who understand prophecy, the elect, are those who have the power. The elite, they're in derision. The Heavenly Father said he was going to put them in derision. And if the Spirit allow, we can go into and show you some of that. But the elite are falling into chaos, while the church, the body, the bride of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, is being built up, edified, and given the light. When you have light, you can see. Light is for you to see. You can't see in the dark. So that seeing, or that sight, which gives us the vision, as the scriptures say, where there is no vision, the people perish.
Right.
So the elect, those who believe on the elect, are the only ones who have vision in this dark world, as Isaiah the 60th chapter told us. And so it's like they say in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. So he has the vision. He's the one with the vision. So what you think the elect, with all, both eyes shining bright, full of the light of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. And yeah, we look like the Lord, he got us under wraps. We look like niggas. We look like bums. Yeah, we look like the scum of the offscour. We are the offscouring of this bitch ass system.
Right.
You understand? But we the one got the power. Prophecy runs the world, always has. It always has. Prophecy runs the world. Those who understand prophecy will eventually run the world,
Mm-hmm.
along with Yahweh Shai. This is Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai's program. So now going into the MOTB, because we see the world being moved by it. It's moving the world. And everybody who came and taught you that, oh, the MOTB ain't no micro CHIP, they have to regroup. They have to come back, fix their own shoddy work, or patch it. A lot of them will, in the case of IUIC, all they can do is patch. So as Apostle Tahar said, if you ain't preaching the MOTB as the CHIP, then you done sold that.
Mm-hmm.
So how the hell you can't see it? You just flat sold that. But yeah, all that, in the case of IUIC, all they could do is do patchwork. Is they can't go and build correctly because they done sold that. But yeah, that's going to be critical. The understanding of Revelation 13, verses 16 through 18 is going to be critical in showing people who the Heavenly Father is dealing with. And then you're going to have people with under the pretty much Stockholm syndrome, but that's not the term. It's a term, it's a bias. People that have this bias, they not going to see the truth for what it is. They just going to follow these charismatic leaders onto their destruction. Okay, so anyway, yeah, I just wanted to bring that out. This is at the forefront. It's what's driving the shit in Syria. I'm talking about Revelation 13:16. It's just driving the chaos in Syria. It's driving the chaos in Ukraine. This is moving the world. And you got all these top analysts, and they can give us a grip on what's going on because they have some insight, some history, some experience in those areas, dealing with those people. They know them regions and the peoples, so they can give us insight into that. But if they want to know what's really going on in the spiritual realm, they got to get with Great Millstone.
Right.
And that's where everything is going, to the spiritual realm. So, yeah, there's, all these wars are bankers' wars. So why would all this shit be any different? Money is driving this shit. But yeah, it's intricacies to it, and beefs and hatreds and all of this. But go ahead.
Now that's it. Esau want to be like the Most High. The Most High, he controlling everything. But here on earth, people actually
Yeah,
think, it's real life that they making decisions and so on and so forth. Or the elites doing the same thing. They
talk.
controlling everything, but they got these people thinking, the Trump beefing with this person and Russia, he hate this country so much. They really all a part of the agenda. Not like the elder said. It may be actual hate up in there between certain people, but at the end of the day, all these governments, remember, it's in the scriptures. The Lord controlling all these people, man. So what the plan is, according to prophecy, they go try to form a NWO. Even
Exactly.
How you brought it up before we started the lesson about that video with Klaus Schwab that he was talking, and he said we at one of these UN meetings, but he said we infiltrate cabinets. I mean, not a UN meeting, but the WEF meeting. He said
Right.
we infiltrate cabinets. He said one thing we do at the WEF, we infiltrate cabinets. He said we've been having a lot of global leaders in our program since their youth. He said like Angela Merkel, Vladimir Putin. He said Putin is a young World Economic Forum leader, so he been down with the program. Everybody been down with it. He bigged up Andrew. What his name? Trudeau.
Yeah, Trudeau. Yeah.
Trudeau. If I'm saying if Andrew his right name, but Trudeau his last name in Canada. He said, "Oh yeah,
Justin, right?
mm-hmm.
Justin Trudeau, ain't it?
Yep, that sound more right. Yep, Justin.
Yeah.
Let's see. Justin. Yep, that's it. Prime Minister of Canada. The water. Prime Minister of Canada. But Putin bigged up him because why he already down with it. And look at Canada. So the point is, all these people are infiltrated, and no matter what they put out on TV or smoke screen, this person beefing, as the elder was just saying, the true truth we telling everybody no, it's still everybody's still going to eventually try to have to agree. The wars are just a front. A front. That's it. Now, you know, it's going to be real skirmishes, but I want to get this real quick, though. This Amos 3 and 6, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Sure, there'll be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it. Surely Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. And that's what's also blowing these people, these elites, and putting fear into them, blowing their minds. Not only just us standing on our feet, saying we Israelites, is putting fear into them, like Revelation 11 say, Ezekiel 37, Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. But it's what we saying. According to Wisdom of Solomon 2, we telling these people their plans before they do them. Even before they do them. And you know, sometimes, Elder Tazapah, you know, we may be speaking at camp, and brothers say, you know, I'm speaking as a man, but, you know, I kind of see it this way. Well, we may think we're speaking as a man, but the Lord may have a brother actually saying things that they saying in the meetings. You know, and you know why that's not far-fetched. That happened before in 2 Kings, the 6th chapter. If a brother want to post that in 2 Kings, the 6th chapter, how the Lord, he kept revealing the king of Syria plans unto Elisha.
God.
Unto Elisha. And Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter say that, man. But we see what these people doing through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashim Chakwadash. It says, surely Yahweh power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets, man. You know, and you don't have these other camps focus on prophecy. They may mention things here and there. And even you don't have, even these people in the world, they may talk about prophecy, but they do it to get a paycheck. You know, and then at the end they'll tell you, look and buy my gear. Come on, man.
Yep.
But if you ain't got nothing else on the Tazapah, I'll go ahead and play it.
Go ahead.
Okay, matter of fact, I had one more. Real quick. Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And it's the second major prophecy that's left, World War III. So we're gonna go ahead and the World War III update, just kind of going into what's going on in Syria and you know the things that could come from it, you know. But we'll go ahead and play it. Let me make sure the sound up. Very cool. So this from AustralianNews.com put out 4 days ago. It says the Assad regime has fallen in Syria. How did we get here?
The Syrian government has fallen in a stunning and sudden end to the 50-year rule of the Assad family. The lightning offensive by jihadist rebels seized President Bashar al-Assad's seat of power, Damascus, just hours ago. Syria's armed opposition has declared that the country is now free of a tyrant, and there are reports President Assad has fled the country. We'll have analysis from the ABC's Global Affairs editor John Lyons shortly, but we begin tonight with our correspondent Eric Torchek on the Syrian border.
Jubilation and celebration in the capital. Fighters alongside Damascus locals dance on top of tanks in the city's main square. Huge crowds gather as news of the regime's demise spreads. thousands waving and chanting as the rebels declare the city free of a tyrant. In a video statement broadcast on Syrian state television, rebel fighters say President Bashar al-Assad has been overthrown and all detainees in jails have been set free. The collapse of the Syrian government brings to a stunning end the brutal 50-year rule of the Assad family. As rebels moved suburb to suburb in Damascus, symbols and statues of the regime were torn down in triumph. The lightning blitz led by the Islamist group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham started just 8 days ago when they stunned government forces and seized Aleppo. As the country's second largest city fell, the Syrian regime called in its allies Russia and Iran. But the opposition forces fought on southward, last night taking control of Homs, which opened the road to Damascus. Assad's seat of power fell just as quickly. The Syrian Army Command has reportedly notified officers that Bashar al-Assad's rule has ended. There are reports that President Assad has fled Damascus by plane and nobody knows where he is. These Syrians here in Turkey, they don't care. They're just happy that he's gone. With the collapse complete, videos emerged of Assad's forces fleeing the country, some into neighbouring Iraq. Once heavily fortified checkpoints, now deserted. Syria's Prime Minister has issued a video statement saying he's ready to extend his hand to the opposition to form a transitional government.
The need for an orderly political transition has never been more urgent, starting with the urgent formation of inclusive and credible transitional arrangements in Syria.
The last day of authoritarian rule and hopefully the end of a bloody 13-year civil war.
Let's bring in Eric Torchek now, who's near the Syrian...
Khan, you want to speak on it?
Yeah, I say, yeah, I could notice the bias. You know, well, I don't know. You gonna play some more of that?
Well, we can if you want to.
Okay, well, see, I don't know what you got.
Well, that was just pretty much, just a little update,
That was the point. Well, let's get into it. I mean, we can get into it. Yeah, it was biased. They called his regime brutal. Bashar al-Assad's 13-year brutal regime, and they said how the jihadist rebels and all that. I noticed the rhetoric was kind of towards the U.S. agenda or their narrative, as far as they kind of bigging up the rebels, not saying that this is former Al Qaeda, the HTS. Pull that name up again. The HTS.
I got you right here. It says, this from fpnews.com. It says, what to know about the man who toppled Assad. It says, Abu Muhammad al-Jalani has worked for years to rebrand himself, but has he truly broken from Al Qaeda? And it goes into, right. Yeah, he was.
Go ahead.
Salaki. It says, matter of fact, I'm gonna go to this one because I think I looked it up on here. Let me see.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm gonna get it from here. HTS.
So these are people from Al Qaeda that they calling the jihadist rebels. Now, jihad is a holy war. That's what jihad means. It's a holy war. But what's holy about it? What's holy about it? These people here fighting over land that don't even belong to them. And calling it a jihad. So go ahead, brother. You found it?
Now I don't remember where it's at, but this kind of said the same thing. How he was a part of Al Qaeda, and that's ultimately what HTS is. So it says this was put out yesterday. It says after 13 years of devastating civil war, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's regime was toppled in a stunning offensive led by the rebel group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS. It says the country now confronts an uncertain future, not least of which is how HTS, which evolved, here it is, which evolved out of an Al-Qaeda affiliate with ties to the founder of the Islamic State, will approach governance. And it says,
Yeah, so there you have it. It's an offshoot of Al Qaeda, who we supposed to be at war, having a war on terror with. Because I don't never recall them rescinding this war on terror, even though they had to leave Afghanistan with their tail tucked between their legs, and I'm talking about the U.S. military. You know, they never say, "Oh, the war on terror is over. We got our asses kicked," or either we won. Either way, they never declared. So I guess we're still in this war. And then you got this who, I'm not sure who that news media was. It don't even matter, but they turning this into positive light. So they getting ready to take you Americans to war in deceit, by way of deceit, lying to you the whole time. And shit, they know we got to get up and go to work for Esau. We ain't got time to make heads or tails, to put in the work necessary to make heads or tails of this bullshit. You got to buy these high ass groceries, feed your children, all this stuff, and then the last thing you want to do is try to understand some beef, some shit that ain't got shit to do with you in some country far, far away. Well, that's why the Lord gave you His servants, the prophets. You know, and we got to do all of that shit and make sense of this shit. You know, we got families and lives too. But as the scripture commands us, be not ignorant of anything, you know. So, yeah, man, I mean, it's a big ass mess. And they've been taking freedoms from us here in America. You know, all of us been taking freedoms for the past 20 plus years since 9/11, claiming that, you know, we had to get Al Qaeda. And now Al Qaeda ended up taking over Syria and flying to the you know, the Muslim Brotherhood, with I'm sorry, the Arab Spring. No, that was what was it?
I'm not too sure exactly what you're talking about right there.
No, you had just read it. I think it was the Arab Spring.
Let's see.
But what people don't understand while they're cheering this on is that Assad helped to keep the region stable. So you're gonna see more destabilization, as if it wasn't enough already. You're gonna see even more throughout Syria and the surrounding areas. But see, this is going to lead to the third war. That's the beauty of this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And as Scott Ritter, he came out and said no one was expecting this, you know, but somebody had to, because somebody gave the orders. Somebody made the call. Because okay, this offshoot of Al Qaeda, HTS, they're not gonna make no move like that on their own and be successful. For them to do something like that and be successful, they had to have some big time help.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know who that big time help is. All right, let me ask you this: how do you spell Al Qaeda? I just, you know, just throwing that out there. See, it's real easy, you know.
Shit, AL.
No, brother, that's wrong already. No, you spell Al Qaeda CIA. It's real easy. That's how you spell Al Qaeda CIA. 1979, and they created, you know, this this faction to combat the Russians in Afghanistan. Tim Osman, who the world knows as Osama bin Laden, he, you know, one of the top guys, he came up through the ranks. And so, you know, they use him as the patsy to say, oh, he brought down the towers and we got to, you know, do this and do that. And like I say, only 20 years later to come down the road and to now be, you know, kind of bigging these people up and letting them set up shop in Syria. So is that two failures? You know, did the U.S. fail in Afghanistan, and now are they failing in Syria? Or was it orchestrated? All this shit is orchestrated. This is the theater of war. That's when you dig deep enough, you see that war is theater. It's one and the same. So let's look at this right quick, brother. I want you to pull up Genesis 2:14. If y'all think this ain't spiritual and scriptural.
Here you go.
And so Genesis, okay. Yeah, so all right. Go ahead, read it out.
Kind of Genesis chapter 2 and verse 14. It says, and the name of the third river is Hiddekel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, go ahead.
Khan. It says, that is which goeth toward the east of Assyria, and the fourth river is Euphrates.
Right. So we're talking about Assyria. Now, click on Assyria. I don't know if you in the blue letter or you somewhere else.
Let me get to it. And I could probably pull up a map too if you want.
We'll see.
Khan, this is Syria.
But just so you can understand, like I say, prophecy moves the world. It moves the world. So you can read it, but the Hebrew word there is ashwar. So that's Assyria is ashwar. Ashwar is where you get. Well, go through it. I mean, read it.
Khan is H84 804 Ashwar. It says Ashur or Assyria, a step.
Ashur, well, right there, Ashur or Assyria. All right. So now Assyria, let me read this real quick. Stay where you at, brother. Okay. So going to the Zonovan's Picture Bible Dictionary, and I'm in Syria. All right. So this is again the Zonovan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, and I'm in under Syria, and it says Hebrew, Aram. And so it says abbreviation of Assyria, or possibly from the Babylonian Assyri, the name of a district in North Mesopotamia, and it says Herodotus first applied the name Syria to the territory occupied by the Armenian, but the name was not popularized until the Hellenistic period. In the Hebrew Bible, it is called Aram, after the Arameans, nomads from the Syro-Arabian desert who occupied the area in the 12th century. So it's saying Syria goes back to Assyria. And so we see when you look at Assyria, Ashwar, they're saying, yeah, a step. A step. So Syria is that critical step that was needed to get us to that third woe. And that video, I don't think I sent you that one, but Scott Ritter, he was going into it and he said that there was almost peace. He said we almost had peace. But right, we're not in the time of peace. So and that show you that the angel, the Most High, is working, and getting these people, because they had called the ceasefire, and the IDF, the one that called for it, because Hezbollah was putting that work in. And so they was about, according to Scott Ritter, it was about to be, at least a temporary. But no, the angels are stirring this thing up. And so now you're going to see 2025, we go into the next step. Syria is a critical step in this whole Assyria, that's the ancient Assyrians. Well, that land with that area. Yeah, so we this thing is about to escalate. So as you know, a step is good for descending just as much as it is ascending. And so it's a step for Esau down, but a step for us up. Because now he done got himself in the quagmire pursuant to Job, the 20th chapter. And if you would, let's pull up Job chapter 20.
Okay.
Just so brothers and the sisters who interested could get a handle on what's going on. If you look from ground level, you'll be confused. You got to look as we were given the ability to through the Holy Spirit from the top down, and then you have a better vantage point to understand what's happening. So yeah, I don't know all the old, and Al Nusra did this in 2012, and ISIS was formed in. I don't even give a damn about all this shit. Because it's all CIA. They fund both sides. It really, and again, it's some real beefs. Don't get me wrong, it's some real beefs, but they play on it. Esau plays on it. And so he funds both sides. And according to you had General Douglas McGregor just a few minutes ago, he said that Jordan just got a check for $900 million because from the U.S. Treasury, because the U.S. funds TERROR. That's one of the U.S. best exports. TERROR is. So yeah, Joe, chapter 20. But let's start by I'm gonna go right to the point. You got more news. Man, let's start at verse 15.
Kind of Job chapter 20 and verse 15. It says, "He have swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again." The Most
Now
High.
he is referring to Esau, Edom, the people that are in power, their top families of the ruling elite that's running all this shit. That's the cause behind. But really, if you think about it right, none of this shit makes sense. If you're trying to understand it in the flesh, none of it makes sense. It only makes sense what's going on in the world when you understand prophecy. You know, this. Well, let's go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Job 20 and 15, it says, he have swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly.
Right. He swallowed down riches because he goes all over the world pillaging through CIA, economic hitmen. And they set up in the country and they suck that country dry.
Mm-hmm.
The people, the land, everything dry. He's a fucking cancer and a plague among humanity. This man. So he swallowed down riches. All right. He's sitting on them. He won't do nothing to help the people. He got money he can't spend. And he just sitting on it so you can't have it. That's this man. Esau Edom. You know him and love him. You know him as the white man. Go ahead, brother.
Con, and I just put in the chat this link to a video. Check out that video with all the Tazapot going into the CIA, how Esau, when he want to get his way, he'll send in, economic hitmen to infiltrate, certain organizations, so on and so forth, start groups just to bring, as he said, TERROR into the world. But check out that video. Now it's a guy named Johnny Harris. He got some good videos. And really go through all his videos, and that prove, just from his videos, that prove Esau Edom, the so-called white man. You can't get around it. He go into all the history, well, most of it. But he might be Jake though. But he got some good. He might be in the CIA. All his information he know.
Hey, you never know nowadays.
But the point is, he got all going. But watch that video just to kind of get on what the other Tazapot talking about. But Job 20 and 15 again, it says, he have swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly.
That's getting ready to come. We about to see this. Lord willing, we in that number. Whoever the elect gonna see this real soon. All right, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Verse 16, it says, he shall suck the poison of asps, the viper's tongue shall slay him.
Go ahead.
He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter.
Right, because he's trying to take over the world. All right. So this is the Lord saying, you ain't gonna see the goods of the kingdom. He's trying to set up a kingdom. The Lord, tell him, you're not gonna see the rivers and the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. He trying to carve out a land of milk and honey for himself. It's flowing with goodness. He ain't gonna see it. Read on.
Man, that's it. It says, that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down, and according to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein.
Right, and so everything that he labored, like right now, he's in Syria laboring to get that greater Israel. All right, because that's the top family. We make fun of them. We talk, the sombrero poquitos, the small hats, gutter rats, whatever. That's the top family right now, calling the shots. So they're the ones over there in Syria. It's the, Jeremiah 51 and 20. But it say that the least of the flock shall draw them out. And that's the least of the flock. Those are the Amalekites. That's who they truly are. They are not Israeli. They're not Jewish. All right. 49, I'm sorry, Jeremiah 49 and 20. Therefore, the counsel of Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, that he had taken against Edom. This is who we talking about, Edom, the Edomites. All right. There are tribes and families of Edom. All right. They're the top tribe are the Amalekites right now. All right. Responsible for the The situation in Gaza and Palestine, responsible for that shit in Ukraine. Responsible for all over the world. They got their hand in shit. But it says, yeah, that he had taken against Edom and his purposes that he had purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. That's a tribe of Edom, the Temanites. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. All right. And again, we about to see that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking generations down the line. We're talking about this generation. All right.
That's right.
And guess what? This generation is old. You know, men like the apostles and myself. Lord say that this generation shall not pass. So we got to see it. So, you know, it ain't gonna be no new generation come up and they have to teach a whole new generation. This is it.
Right.
But anyway, let's go back to Job and we'll knock that out.
Con. It's back in Job chapter 20 and verse 18. It says, that which he labored for shall he restore and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. And if I may add, Elder Tazapar,
Yeah.
in Genesis 27, Esau was given the world. He was given the whole world. He's still trying to just take everything out of it. But the Lord says, according to what he gathered, which is the world, he's going to give all that up.
He got to give it up. Yeah, the water. And that's exactly what the scripture is saying. According to his substance shall the restitution or the restoring be.
Mm-hmm.
So that means everything he got, he done stole it. That's what they're saying.
Yep.
Everything this man has, he done stole. Or got unjustly.
Man.
Swindled, stole, swindled, and goddamn scam. But then want to give you 20 years for a PPP loan. Because you fudged some numbers. the nigga gonna find a way. But go ahead, I.
Con. And you know how people always cry about reparations. You know,
Right.
down the line when you go into that word restitution too, you know, kind of like some branch off words could be reparations. It's the true reparations, us getting what the Lord promised us. You know, the kingdom, that's the reparations. We're gonna get everything back to us. You know, that's
Including his ass, I.
mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
Well, what the Apostle Hall, he said, you know, every so often that what's truly being blessed, having slaves. That's gonna be real reparations.
That's it.
You know, but I continue. So like it says, he shall not rejoice therein, verse 19, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he builded not. Surely.
And real quick, Micah chapter 2 explains that. You know, so you can go into Micah right at the top, the first 3-4 verses explains that. You know, he goes and he takes like a cancer. This man, you know, his eyes stand out with fatness. But go ahead, brother.
It says, verse 20, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly.
Mm-hmm.
He shall not save of that which he desired.
Right, because be not deceived. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. You know, Galatians 6 and 7. You can't do all of this wickedness and expect to sit at peace. You've been a warmonger. Your whole tenure as ruler of the world, you've been a warmonger, and then you think you can sit in peace? You're going to have some quietness in your belly? It don't work that way. You will not save with that which you desire, you know, to have rulership of the world and control of the people and creation, to play God. Read on.
It says, verse 21, there shall none of his meat be left, and therefore shall no man look for his goods.
Yeah, Most High gonna take this man dry. He tell you about that in in Obadiah, and I believe in Malachi. But for sure in Obadiah, Most High say he ain't gonna leave a gleaning grape off of your ass. What you got right there?
I got that Obadiah if you want it.
Read it.
This Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 4, it says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's the point.
Yeah, the same man, boasting that, yeah, I'm gonna set my nest above the stars. Where you at?
Oh, Salaki, I'm about to go to the NLT. Salaki. Verse 4.
Yeah, I was set my nest among the stars. The stars are the Israelites. That's us. And just proud, boasting. But go ahead, you can pull in the NLT.
It says, I'm gonna read the NLT. I got it right here on the phone. It says, Obadiah 1 and verse 5 in the NLT. It says, if thieves came at night and robbed you, and it says, I'm gonna just let's see. All right, I'm gonna just read it. It says, if thieves came at night and robbed you, what a disaster awaits you. They would not take everything, right? It says, and those who harvest grapes always leave a few for the poor, right? It says, but your enemies will wipe you out completely. Every nook and cranny of Edom will be searched and looted. Every treasure will be found and taken.
And taken, bam, we reading about that right here in the book of Job, and the Most High is going to put the spirit on them to do that. That's the Most High's doing. So, man, that's right on time, brother. And that's exactly what's going to happen to this devil. But yeah, we can pick back up in Job.
Back in Job, chapter 20 and verse 21 again. It says, there shall none of his meat be left.
There shall none of his meat be left. The Most High going to get these heathens to clean his cloth. And then all they going to do is bring it to us.
That's it.
They ain't going to keep it. They going to bring it to us.
That's it.
Go ahead.
Yep. Therefore shall no man look for his goods.
That's right.
It
says, that's the point right there.
Yep. Job 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him.
So, right, he's in the fullness of his sufficiency. All right, because he's at the top. He has more than heart could desire. Like I was saying earlier, he got money. He just sitting on money he could never spend. Not, entries on the computer. These people have substance. They actually own shit. Silver by the bars, pallets, rows and rows of pallets of gold, bars, silver, shit. Yeah, more than heart could desire. So he's in the fullness of his sufficiencies. Sufficient means enough. So he's full of enough. But it says, when that time happens, he shall be in straits. Now he's been in straits, here and there, and he's been in straits, but it's been mild up to now. This shit that's taking place in Syria, like I say, it's a step in the right direction for us, but things could, I ain't gonna say what's gonna happen, but things could easily spin out of their control, causing them to be in some real straits. But we know that's what's going to happen. At some point in time, the Most High is going to get this, let this thing get out of control, out of everyone's control, and then it's going to be a real fight. So yeah, again, it says, okay, read verse 20. I mean, verse 23. I'm sorry.
Job chapter 20 and verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
Right. So, and that's what's coming. So yeah, I just wanted to go through that, the water. But right, when he's about to fill his belly, think he's going to actually digest the entire world and have the world in his power, under his control, outside of the Most High, him doing his own thing. Most High gonna cast the fury of his wrath, his indignation upon this devil. And he's gonna rain it upon him while he's eating. All right. So you're right. While this devil is at war, conquering. Because that's, you eat, you conquer. Or when you conquer, you eat. But anyway, yeah, you got it out.
And it was cool with you. The rest of these articles, we ain't got to really read through them. We could highlight them, kind of maybe hit some, the first sentences or so. But I got that video you sent me right here. And we can kind of
yeah.
if
Okay.
you want to, going into how America, involved, so on and so forth. And we can kind of end it on a couple minutes with that if you want. It was cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
So so in saying all that, with all that information, seeing the guy who is over HTS, which is the new so-called group, who toppled, as they say in the title, who toppled Assad in Syria, but he was once part of Al Qaeda, so on and so forth. So a lot could happen from this, and who knows how the Lord, getting down. But if, like the elder was saying, if he was once part of Al Qaeda, he got to have ties to America, Israel, inside job. But with this happening, one, for the sake and benefit of America, Israel, and the West, this is all pushing towards what Israel got planned. You can even see right here where your boy at. Benjamin Netanyahu, not a Jew, he got a plan for the new Middle East, and they call it the Greater Israel Project. Now, the plan for the so-called Greater Israel Project is to take over the Islamic world and to make that Israel. When they say make that Israel, ultimately, like the elder man, man who was talking before the lesson, where's it? I thought I had a right here. Ultimately, they trying to force themselves into securing the biblical borders of the biblical Israelites. They trying to make that happen themselves. And I know that Yasumamba touch on this often as well. You got it.
Yeah, no, go ahead, man. Make your point.
But that's ultimately what they're trying to do. They're trying to force themselves. So, when you go into it, and if you want to speak on it, Tazapah, you got it. But if you kind of see this a somewhat of a border of what was biblically given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or Israel. And now Benjamin Netanyahu, which now you see that's the so-called Islamic world. You got Syria, and then on top of Syria, you got Turkey. Then the left of them, you got Lebanon, and then you got Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Jordan. So you got Esau the small head surrounded by the Islamic world, which that's not none of them land, that's our land. And that's what they fighting for. They're trying to, in a way, fulfill the birthright that was taken from them.
Yeah. Yep.
So now we have it on Israel and America side. And for the West, what's happening in Syria? Now, this is a modern picture right here. So you see Israel. And then on the top of Israel is Lebanon. Right? And to the right of Lebanon, that's where you got Syria and Damascus, where it's popping off. And in between Syria and Israel and Lebanon, you got the Golan Heights, which I'll read a little bit of that article next. But then you got Turkey right here, Iraq, Jordan. So Israel trying to make its way and take over all these. And El Tazapal, it was a couple weeks ago, I believe it was one of the Thursday lives, we brought out what Erdogan said, the president of Turkey. And he said, we got to stop Israel and America fast because eventually they're going to try to come and take over Turkey. So they notice what America's trying to do. So this could be their way of moving up. Now that Syria, Assad, Bashir al-Assad, then got up out of there. He dipped. Now you got this old guy who used to be a part of Al-Qaeda. Now he leading it. And now Israel just moved into the Golden Heights. I'll read a little bit. You want to say something before I read a little bit of this one?
No, but when you get ready to play that video, play when Andrew Napolitano plays Bashar al-Assad. If we get a chance to it, or if we get around to it. But yeah, you can go ahead.
But I just read this real quick. Now Netanyahu then made his way, and so this is the Golden Heights on a picture, just so you can see. You got Syria, Jordan, Israel, Lebanon, and part of this side, I had it pulled up just real quick. As we was taught, bring out the info. It says Golden Heights. Since the 6-Day War of 1967, the western 2/3 of the Golden Heights has been occupied and administered by Israel, whereas the eastern third remains under the control of Syria. And I got to read this too, because it says who owns the Golden Heights now. It says the Golden Heights are a rocky plateau in the Levant region of Western Asia that was captured by Syria from Israel in the 1967 6-Day War. Now check this out. The international community, so in other words, the world, the international community, with the exception of Israel and the United States, considers the Golden Heights to be Syrian territory held by Israel under military occupation.
Right. Yep.
But so this is the Golden Heights. So what it's saying, Netanyahu moved into that region. And I know you were speaking on the other times. I probably want to kind of, speak on it. Then I'll play the video.
Yeah, like that one YouTuber was saying, it makes perfect sense. You got this chaos that's taking place in Syria. So it's just a strategic move. You want to cause the Golden Heights with that mountain range, that ridge of mountains. It gives you a superior military positioning. You have the high ground, and you can see for miles from the peak of the mountains of Golden Heights. You can see for miles, and so that's just good sense for anybody. To go in there, take that strategic position, and set up a buffer zone, to protect you, because as you see, that Golden Heights separates Syria and Israel. So you got chaos going on in Syria, which was about to happen. You don't want that spilling over into your borders. So, and that's how they're going to play it. But you'll probably see them, being the cancers that they are, take more and more, of that area. Because I've seen a video where they actually on the mountains looking at Damascus, from binoculars. So that might be their next move. But yeah, man, shit. It's a lot going on, brother. It's a lot going on, but Israel, they can't play that off because it's common sense. And like I was telling you earlier, it's common sense when they do it. But when Russia wants Ukraine to stay neutral as their buffer zone, and as NATO agreed and said we're not going to infringe more into the west from Poland, I believe it is. That's into the east. We won't go any further east than Poland, and they been going further east. So you'll see. Well, they don't really have time, but they want to go further north, Israel. But I mean, like I'm saying, it makes sense when they do it, when Israel do it, for them to have that buffer zone, which it does make sense. But you don't want to respect Russia and them having the buffer zone. And now NATO is basically 300 miles from Moscow with the Ukraine debacle. So it's hypocrisy running amok with this shit. Like they say, Putin defends his homeland and his territory. He's an aggressor and ruthless, a horrible man. And you got Netanyahu basically telling you he gonna stop at nothing till he got Palestine and Gaza and that greater Israel that you showed. He's gonna stop at nothing. But he's held in the media as this, what he's doing is great. It's so great. This genocide that he's participating in, basically he's forwarding. It's great. But yeah, they about to find themselves in some real straits behind this greater Israel and all of this shit. That's gonna bring them into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. All right, Zephaniah chapter 3 and 8 on down. But yeah, you got it out.
Nah, that's it. That's on point. So with that, I ain't gonna play this video. Now it's a quick video going into just the Greater Israel Project explained. It says the small hat plan to conquer the Arab world. And there's all these videos and articles. They already in the description box as well. Let's see. But since that happened, it says I'm gonna just read the title on this one. It says Israel from Natural News came out 2 days ago. Israel continues to unleash hell on earth with 250 new strikes across Syria. So as soon as they kind of moved a little forward, they've just been getting busy. And what you said, Elder Tazapah, they ain't just stopping at the Golden Heights, which he already said he ain't moving. They most likely ain't just gonna stop at the Golden Heights. They gonna move forward, but that goes right into Habakkuk 2, as you also brought up. He ain't satisfied just with taking over a portion. He gonna keep moving.
Yeah, you sure right. That's right.
It says this was put out today from naturalnews.com, December 12th, the 12th. It says the Middle East tensions flare up as Netanyahu declares small hat occupation of Golden Heights will be, capital letters, forever. He said, we stand here. We got the Golden Heights.
Yeah, that's it.
Come on.
They playing for keeps. This Esau. Yeah, you can't let Esau hold nothing. You ain't getting it back. Look, you would trust a face like that?
Yeah, like an
He
American
look like he up to something.
A high school football coach in Louisiana or somewhere.
Yeah, principal somewhere.
Yeah. Offensive coordinator in the NFL.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, these people, you can't trust nobody. These Edomites, man. Shit, never trust thine enemy. But Sirach 12 and 10. But yeah, shit, you got some more?
Nah, that's it.
The video?
That's it, because we can get into the video because the article's in the chat, and I'm gonna go ahead and play it. This is what you're talking about, right? About right
Yeah,
here, right?
right there. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm gonna start about 30 seconds before that, about a minute
Now
before.
he gonna to set it up a little bit. Bashar al-Assad is gonna go into the CIA. So yeah, and the US. But yeah, check it out.
Kind of. We could just end it off on on this. But let's see about right there.
Renegotiating the debt that Egypt has. In other words, we have bribed people in those places. We bribe people all over the world, but specifically in those places to keep them on side when it comes to Israel. Now, the Jordanians are in a tough spot because the Israelis can shut off their water supply. They're not anxious to end up like Gaza at this point. Egypt's a little different now, and the Egyptian population there is very angry. We should come back to that because what happens in Egypt is very important, and you could see something similar to what has happened in Syria happen in Egypt.
Here's the president of Syria, President Assad, before he was deposed. This is in 2017, saying very similar to what you said, that the United States does not want partners, it only wants puppets. The key part to what he says, this is about 60 seconds long, the key part to what he says, with which I suspect you'll agree, is at the very end. Chris, number 13.
The problem in the United States is about the whole political system. It's not about one person. Trump's election has proven again for us, again and again, that the president is only a performer. He's not the decision maker. He's part of different lobbies and the deep state, or the deep regime, as we can call it, who implement and dictate on the president what should he be doing. And the proof to what I'm saying, that Trump, after he became president, he swallowed most of the promises and the word that he was boosting during his campaign. He made 180 turn in nearly every promise. So why? Because the deep state wouldn't allow him to go in certain direction. That's why, for me, dealing with him as a person, it could be, but can that person deliver? No. In the United States, president cannot deliver. The whole state, the deep state only, is the one who can deliver. And this is the problem. This deep state doesn't accept partners around the world. They only accept puppets. They only accept followers. They only accept proxies. That's what they accept. We're not any of these.
He's gone, of course.
Yeah, and he was saying, well, Judge Napolitano was saying how Bashar al-Assad was saying, I believe it was Bashar al-Assad was saying that the CIA is the intelligence agency of the world. You know, we see them, you know, a lot of these wars, CIA initiated and funded. And it's been that way, you know, for a while, at least the last century. But yeah, I ain't had nothing else.
I got one, and that's pretty much it. In Joel, the 3rd chapter. Real quick. This the zeitgeist, the spirit of the times. You know, World War III, the sea help, so on and so forth. Real quick, this Joel chapter 3 and verse 2, it says, I will also gather all nations. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start that one. It says, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, which further prove this the exact time that's talking about. Because when you go into verse 2, that go into World War III happening. So in World War III, there was going to be the next time the Lord was going to gather both northern and southern kingdom. The last time both northern and southern kingdom was gathered together was Egypt. After we came out of Egypt, eventually the northern kingdom went into the Assyrian captivity and made their way over here to the Americas. And the southern kingdom went into the Babylonian captivity. Then other captivities after that. Never been together since until right here in Babylon the Great. Like I say, what that is, Jeremiah 50. If a brother want to post that, I believe, in 33 or something like that. How Judah and Israel were pressed together, and all they held them fast or refused to let them go. And a verse under that, it mentioned that it was Babylon. So at the time we was going to get delivered from Babylon, Judah and Jerusalem, it was going to be a time for World War III. Further proof, that's the time the Lord will come back during World War III, man. It says, Joel, the 3rd chapter, in verse 1, it says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, north, southern and northern kingdom." Verse 2, I will also, so at the same time, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Yahweh, which is Yahweh's judgment, man. And that's also what we're seeing. Nations are being gathered over there as what the world would call it, the Middle East. And kind of, a few things, the Lord allowed us to touch on tonight, the Elder Riala, and the elder brothers went into a beautiful algorithm the other day. You got brothers touching on this news, the apostles, so on and so forth. But these nations are gathering for what? For World War III. And like you said earlier, Elder Tazapah, how Scott Ritter mentioned how he said we was close to peace. We was close to peace. Well, it ain't the time for peace. And if again, as a spirit.
Yeah, you saw it. You saw when he said it.
Nah, I ain't see it. You gotta send me that. I don't think you sent me that one.
Okay.
If you can. I don't know. You probably did. I have to check again. But no, it ain't the time for peace. And if you know prophecy, then you understand it ain't the time for peace. You ain't even gonna have that thought because you know what it is. You ain't gonna fall for those articles that come out. It's gonna be peace and a peace agreement gonna be signed. Oh, it's good. The economy gonna get better next year. No, we shouldn't fall for that because we know according to prophecy it's not. And that's the comfort, man. And everything leading to a digital system and World War III. It says, and that's why all these nations are being gathered into the east right now as we speak. It says, and I will also gather all. You was about to say something?
No, go ahead, brother.
I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh and will plead, judge, and will plead. And if you want to get a vivid image of this, go read 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. Yahweh being sent down. It says, and I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, a part of my land. It's the point I wanted. This is the times we in. Verse 9. This is spirit that the Heavenly Father got on the nations, man. It says, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. So this is the spirit that's going out amongst the nations. They preparing for war. The citizens, bunkers, getting troops, truly training. They ain't getting sex changes like America.
Yeah, for real. That's why we talked about that a little bit. Countries like Russia, they preparing their people. And they do actually have shelters, bomb shelters and shit for them to go. Places where they can go take shelter. But they telling their people not to go to the West. Get caught possibly in a hostage situation or put to death. So they in preparation. They understand the temperature or the climate of the world right now. People here in America, clueless. They still talking about going on vacation. I want to take a cruise here, or when said my birthday, Valentine's Day, or I'm going to see the Super Bowl and watch Drake. All this old silly shit. They are out of touch.
That's right.
But in perfect position to be touched. The Lord getting ready to put in some work. Shit, you got it on that.
That's it. I read a little bit more. It says, Joel 3 and 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare a war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Now check that out. It says plowshares and pruning hooks, which is agricultural tools, you know, for lack of better words. But these are things, in other words, nations, and you know what? That proves nations ain't worried about going green. They ain't worried about going green. That's another smoke screen. They ain't really worried about the land and getting the land right and going green and health. They ain't
I heard. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you finished. Go ahead.
No, Salak, you got it. You got it.
Man, I can't remember who was saying it, but they were saying that it was some country, brother. I forget the country, but that they was diverting funds from their agricultural GDP to the military. And I thought about that verse. I said, oh shit, that's Joel. So, you know, financially they're turning their pruning hooks into swords and so forth and so on.
Salak, I was just trying to.
So yeah, it's we about to see an escalation. 2025 is going to be a hell of a year. The trend that I'm seeing, the algorithm that I'm picking up, you know, this of course 2024 was a year. You know, we at the end of it now, so I could say this confidently. It's been a year of exposure and exposing. The Lord said that there's nothing that was hid that would not be brought to the light. And we saw that this year, heavy. All right. And I'm seeing right now how things are moving. The truth, if you could bring that scripture out, of if you feel like it, the truth that had been without fruit. I see 2025, the truth gonna start fighting. And what I say by fighting, I mean I see people taking L's to the scriptures. And I see that trend going forth into next year that it's gonna be a year for the Bible. That the truth is gonna start smacking niggas upside the head. So yeah, 2 Ezra 6:28, as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which had been so long without fruit, shall be declared. You know, and the truth has been declared, and you about to see the fruit from it. Well, that's usually how it goes. You get exposed, and then the punishment comes. You get called, exposed and called out, you get revealed, and then the punishment comes. So we ain't gonna be here much longer, bro. I don't care how you cut it, how you want to slice it. We're not gonna be here much longer. Cause yeah, I'm seeing, well shit. You know, I'm thinking about Billy Carson. You had the Edomite. I keep wanting to say Dan, but it's the Brown character, the Brown guy.
James Brown.
What is it, James?
I don't know. James White or is what's the dude?
No, that's Dan Brown. No, it ain't Dan. God damn it.
Dr. Brown.
I think he is a doctor, but he the one, you know, got caught up in this sexual scandal.
Yeah, I am.
That's him.
God,
What's his name?
Dr. Michael Brown. I forgot.
Michael Brown.
Well,
Yeah, Michael Brown. Son, you know, and he done been exposed. All these top scholars, man, getting confounded. The Lord said he was gonna do that. He said in 1 Corinthians, the 1st chapter, he was gonna use the weak to confound the mighty, and the foolish things to confound the wise. And then here Billy Carson, he hailed himself as some foremost top researcher and scholar on ancient texts, and he couldn't go goddamn 5 minutes with an Edomite. That Edomite shut him down like in the first 2-3 minutes. Because you don't have a foundation. So all these games people been playing on these social media platform, all these games, oh, I'm the coach so-and-so and the top expert in this. Yeah, that's all that shit coming to a close. You're gonna have to really be on your shit in 2025. And it better be some real shit. So, you know, like with us in this truth, it don't get no realer than this truth. So we better be legit in what we're saying and not to be found hypocrites. Now, the Lord did say he was going to start at his house. So, yeah, brother, you got it out.
That's it. That's it. Now, I ain't had nothing else other than that. That's the perfect way to end it off.
Yeah, brother, shit. The truth is to have its reign. Bro, we come into the reign of truth. We've been under the reign of lies and deception. The truth is about to come shining through. You know, I mean, like we've been preaching the truth, but I mean, it's about to be undeniable to where there don't be no more debates. It ain't gonna have to be a debate. You see it. It's in your face. That's what we about to come to, the book of Revelation. So yeah, brother, you whatever you got.
Nah, that's it. You can take us out. I'm gonna post this video again for that dude Johnny Harris going into the CIA just to kind of get a perspective on what the elder was speaking about earlier. But that's it, Elder Tazapah. You can take us out. And shit, shalom to the Akim, elders Akim who tuned in, hey, shalom for the precepts.
Yeah, the water for them precepts, Akim. Hey, brother, stay up and keep fighting. But yeah, man, hey, we pray that you were edified. The water for tuning in, man, and hey, giving us that support through precepts, through scripture. You know, that really, that really boosts brothers' spirits. You know, see y'all participating. So the water to you brothers for that. And Lord willing, we'll see y'all next week. But before we get out of here, we're gonna again give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, as well as the men who raised them up in the truth. And peace and blessings to the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. So to the next one, shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.